Discretion is advised.
Because I wanted everyone in the world to know that no matter how much the police tamper with evidence, how much they stick together, no matter how they manipulate, put it on Facebook and go viral so that the people could see. The officer pulls us over to talk about a broken headlight that was not broken.
Well, within the last few minutes, the BCA released the names of two St. Anthony officers involved in the shooting. They say they are Officer Geronimo Yanez and Officer Joseph Kauser. Both have been with the department for 4 years. The BCA says Yanez shot Castile several times, then radioed for an ambulance.
Also, new audio from police scanners. A Care 11 viewer sent the audio to us. He claims it's from last night's traffic stop and shooting. Investigative reporter AJ Legault has been working on this story all evening. And AJ, what can you tell us about this new audio?
Well, we do need to tell you we have not independently verified the authenticity of the audio clip you're about to hear. We're working to do that. We have calls into police, but have not heard back yet. What we have verified, the license plate mentioned by police in the recording is the plate of the car Castile was driving last night. Now, we're not airing the plate number out of privacy concerns, but the locations mentioned also correspond to last night's stop. Here, listen for yourself.
We know how the night ended. Philando Castile shot in his car after being pulled over by police. But why was he stopped in the first place?
I'm gonna stop a car.
The officer gives the license plate of the car Castile was driving.
I'm gonna check the IDs. I have reason to pull it over. The two occupants just look like the people that were involved in a robbery. The driver looks more like one of our suspects just because of the wide set nose.
A minute and a half later.
Shots fired. Larpenter and Fry.
Copy, you just heard it? You just heard the shots fired?
There's all three! Shots fired!
Copy, shots fired, Larpenter and Fry. Do you need medics?
Medics, all three!
Copy, medics code 3 to Larpenter and Fry.
One adult female, been taken into custody. Driver, at gunpoint.
Now, we're not sure which robbery the police officer thought Mr. Castile looked like a suspect in, but the BCA had sent out this news release about a July 2nd gas station robbery in nearby Lauderdale, saying St. Anthony police were investigating.
They left him sitting in the car after they shot him.
No one checked his
Nobody checked his pulse, nothing. The police officer that was on my side walked away to call for backup, and the police officer that shot him was still standing there with his gun still drawn. He killed him for no reason. He killed him for no reason. He killed him for no reason.
Police officer Geronimo Yanez was reacting to, quote, the presence of that gun and the display of that gun, end quote, when he opened fire on Philando Castile. He says, and that's coming from his attorney, Thomas Kelly. Matt Finn has the very latest. He joins us now from St. Paul, Minnesota. Hi, Matt.
Good afternoon, Elizabeth. Much more information coming out this afternoon in this case. We are starting to hear much more about the officer's side of the story. By and large, up until this point, we have only heard the girlfriend's account, mostly due to that Facebook video that many of us have seen over and over again. A short while ago, I spoke to the officer's attorney, Tom Kelly. He says that not only did the officer react to the presence of a gun, he tells us that Castile that day failed to comply with a do not move order.
That's the key thing. The key thing in order to try to survive being stopped by the police is to comply. Whatever they ask you to do it. Don't say nothing. Just do whatever they want you to do. So what's the difference in complying and you get killed anyway?
Officer Inez ultimately told Castile do not move and that he failed to comply with that order and that there was apparently a visible gun. We've also went back and looked at the Facebook video, and there are certain freeze frames that might indicate a gun on Castile's lap. I spoke to the attorney of the officer, and he says it would not be far-fetched to assume that could very well be the gun on his lap, because he says his client, the officer, responded to the active presence of a gun. We have also heard police scanner audio that we cannot independently confirm right now is authentic, but that law enforcement officials tell us sounds and looks authentic. And that audio appears to indicate that the officer was telling dispatch the day that he pulled that car over, that he was pulling the car over because Castile fit the description of a wanted suspect in an armed robbery just a few days prior. We are working to confirm that information, but his attorney says this would be a valid investigatory stop. The officer went as far as to describe Castile before he got out of the car, fitting the description of that wanted suspect. The attorney says Inez is complying with police right now. He says he was with the department for 5 years and had no disciplinary action. Also, on a side note, the officer Inez is Mexican, according to his attorney, not Asian, as the woman Reynalds has described up to this point.
I'd like to say one thing.
Yes.
Oh Lord, my God, is there no help for the widow's son? We got to hang on by the strong grip of the lion's paw. I'd like to say one thing.
Yes.
Oh Lord, my God, is there no help for the widow's son? We got to hang on by the strong grip of the lion's paw.
Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Castile and Mrs. Castile. Video of you when there's your boyfriend lying there and this is all going on, and yet you had the presence of mind to pull out your phone and do this live streaming. I'm in awe of that. How did you, what were you thinking? How did you come up with that?
It was really God.
I'm curious what went on in your mind that you thought that you could do this.
It was just to, first stay calm for my daughter.
Yeah.
Any sudden moves I was feeling, any nervousness would have made the police officer strike us. So it's in my best interest and in my daughter's best interest to stay calm. And I'm very in tune to social media, so it was in my best interest as well as my boyfriend's best interest to. And my daughter as well. She was. You guys couldn't see that in the video, but she was in the back seat. She was presuming on the floor, but I just wanted the people to know that, you know, these incidents do happen and we don't bring them on ourselves. So it was just so that people could be aware of situations like this.
Diamond is a narcissistic Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat junkie. I used to tell Diamond all the time, you know, you take 50,000 selfies, you probably post 20 million posts in 2 minutes. She will bump Jesus off the timeline, you know, and I would tell her all the time, you got to stop posting so much. So she would block me off of Facebook. You don't want to see it, I'm going to block you. She would block me.
I'd like to say one thing.
Yes.
Oh Lord, my God, is there no help for the widow's son? We got to hang on by the strong grip of the lion's paw.
Trigger happy.
So when they come forth to preserve and protect,
Trigger happy.
as he's reaching for his back pocket wallet, he lets the officer know, officer, I have a firearm on me.
Trigger happy.
I need justice, I need peace. I want justice, I want peace. I want justice. And even after justice, this will never go away.